Welcome to Getting a Job with Mental Illness with your host, none other than Blur the Ghost. There better be enough lighting in here because this gets draining when you have mental illness. Severity. Let's get down to bizwax. Alright, listen up. Part 1, first step, filling out applications. We'll get down to bizwax here. And you need to know that getting a job is number one. My biggest weakness, not the biggest pain or whatever, it's a pain. My biggest weakness in my entire life. And I just came up with some logical reasoning that the best way to find a job, to find a good job, right, is to map it out where you live, your location. Map out like beep, 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 beep. Work your way, go through every location, process of elimination. Because everyone thinks right away, let me go to the usual suspects. The Mickey D's, the fast food, the supermarkets, the dollar stores, the whatever, the Walmart. All that stuff, right? The usual suspects, right? So you don't know. The problem is you don't know what type of boss you're going to get. I worked for Walmart I didn't even last 2 months. This was like 2 years ago or something. I finally got a job. I was a mess. I was going through heartbreak, addiction, everything under the sun. Psychologically. I got hyperhidrosis, profuse sweating disorder since age 5, ADHD, the dual diagnosis, 10 years sober from heroin. I got the PTSD, the suicide under my belt, the problem child under my belt, nuisance to society, the special education, the obsessive compulsions, the depression, the anxiety, the GAD, the blah 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 blah, intense hypochondriac, germophobia, paranoid, schizophrenic, schizoid affective, dissociative identity disorder, bipolar to a default, manic depressive, all sorts of madness going on here. Hard to get a job. And so I was working for Walmart, didn't even last 2 months. They had Big Steve and Little Steve, and they were both tiny, and Little Steve was a little bit tinier, and he was such a nuisance to the workforce. He was such a horrible boss. And I remember he said, well, what did he say? What did he say? What's your name? I said, what did I say? He forgot my name, and I said, my name's Philip. He said, like it matters. Like it matters. Then I said, you know what, asshole? I didn't say that. I said, my name's Blair. And then, later on, at the last day that I worked, he threatened my job. Is this even filming? Okay. He threatened my job. He put me from 1 aisle in stock to 6 aisles in stock. Hardware with the little things, with the little boxes with the numbers and all the little screws and stuff. And the paint can exploded, and then he threatened me. My job. You know, I should have just went. I was not stable enough. I should have just went to the woman that hired me. She even said I should have just came to her. I was so stressed out, I felt like I was dying. It's Storm Stella today, the winter storm, Long Island, New York. And when I had this job, it was snowing too. This is bringing back some painful memories. And once I had a job at this place called Jan's Italian Ice. And I didn't even last a week. I quit the job because I was trying to save a moth. Because moths, I like moths. Because they live in darkness. But they always travel towards the light. Ba-dum-bum-bum. And I was trying to save the moth. and he went with the broom, whack! And the next morning I just snapped and I started yelling. I don't even remember what I was yelling. They expect you to learn to make the sandwiches in a day. You want to hire me, anybody out there? So, the first step is going to be filling out applications. Throwing as many fishing lines out there as possible is how you catch a fish. I learned that analogy by a very negative way by someone that had a friend years ago, and they were joking around about picking up women or whatever. I don't do that. I'm no player, man. They were joking about that stuff, and the one said to the other that he don't care. This guy was like a Wookiee. He had all this hair. This person, I can't name, someone, La Familia, had a best friend. This guy was like a Wookiee. He was a beast. He was so hairy. I mean, talk about being close to the ape family, man. He was so hairy. He'd jump in a pool with a white shirt, and the shirt would stick to his back. You would just see he looked like a Wookiee. And he would say, he hits on anybody. He'll say anything to him. And then somehow the analogy was, the more lines you throw out, and it stuck with me in a positive, as an aspiring self-help guru, that the more lines you throw out there, that's how you catch a fish, with a job, with success, with uploading YouTube videos. You never know which bullet's gonna hit the target, gonna go viral, man. So, let's get down to business. It's snow day. I feel like I'm playing hooky from school. I feel like a kid again. I just did a year and almost a half of intensive unity in the community therapy. Intensive. I'm ready to get a job, baby. Let's do this. Alright. Over and out. Real quick so we could get this show on the road. Fill out the job applications online or in there. You don't need to see me filling them out in my dark room, in the dark web. And I ain't got no resume because I ain't got no work history. And I'm telling them I'm disabled. I can only work 19 hours a week. So if you're out there and you have a job coach, you work on a resume, you don't need to see that stuff from me because I don't have any of that stuff. I'm hook, line, and sinker. I'm asking people, someone to hire me on the job, want to walk in there with all the muscles, you know where the weight room is, they'd be like, when can you start? Alright, over and out. Ciao.